convention, and then that'll finish us up for our training. So without any further ado, help me make welcome Miss Amy Sands over the nursery.
Thank you. Welcome to bus driver medication training. I see a lot of faces this morning, and I'm starting to think, I have seen them for many, many years, so welcome back. A couple of new faces, so welcome to Marble County Board of Education as a bus transporter. This is one of my favorite trainings that I do because I get to meet you all who are our first people to see these kids and the last people to see these kids. So I think you all have an awesome job and we appreciate you. And our goal as nurses is to make sure that if you have any questions or any health concerns that comes up on your bus, we can answer those for you. In saying that, I have all of our 14 nurses, one's out right now, but I have all of our 14 nurses here today. I said 14, I'm so excited. We actually have 15. And you know what that means? One for every school. I'm so excited, yay! So girls, you cannot quit, you cannot resign because you're already on docket, okay? All right, but they're in the back, they're in the last two, the first two rows in the second section back there. We're going to do a couple things different. Just realize my clicker doesn't really work so good up here. So I'm probably going to be back there a little bit, which is good because there's a camera over here, and I don't like cameras. So that's a good thing. But I'm going to be walking around. Some of the information, you're getting the same information, but I'm trying to make sure it's toward you all. To make sure that you understand your part, okay? Another thing that we're going to do different is how we do our checkoffs. You know how we'll do it by the numbers, years of experience and stuff. This year, after talking to the bus garage, there's probably a better way to do this, and it just took us about 10 years to figure that out. But you know, we're always adaptable, we learn. So what we want to do is by your elementary bus route, we're going to have you broke up in that route, in that one. And if you're special ed, then you'll go, actually special ed will be in the library. But we'll go over that nuts and bolts here in a little bit. So far, do y'all have any questions? All right, so the medication training is developed about 10 years ago, and it was developed by Kentucky Department of Education, Kentucky Board of Nursing, Kentucky Department of Public Health. And why is that? They came to realize that when it was time for how many school districts do we have in the state of Kentucky that was not a formal training. They wanted to make sure that everybody was on the same page, received the same information. So they all got together and they developed this training. So this is a uniform training that's going throughout the whole school out of the state of Kentucky. Presentation might be done different. We choose, it is an open book, period, for the state. We choose for the bus drivers to meet with you, because you're going through training anyways, to bring it up in front one-on-one on a PowerPoint. We'll go over an open book questions. We'll do it as a group because it is open book. And then we're going to do our assessments, our checkoffs with our nurses. So we're doing everything by law. We're just probably doing it in a different way than some school districts. So, any questions on where this program came from? And I got to scoot on up. And I think I probably just got to turn it off. Okay. All right. So there again, those are organizations that came together to make this program. The compliance, those are the laws that you can look at, Kentucky Administration Regulations, and Kentucky, all of that stuff. There's laws that tells us we have to do this and how to do it. Huh? There you go. Okay. All right. And part of this training, you have to be trained by what? Who in the school district can train you? Nurse. Now, a doctor can train you, a nurse practitioner can train you, a registered nurse can train you. Okay? In our school district, we only have registered nurses. That's all we're hiring is registered nurses. We don't hire LPNs. We do that because it's easier to delegate, to train, to make sure everybody's on the same page, other than trying to find someone to come and train you, okay? We have a physician, Dr. Bunch, who actually signs off all the protocols, all of our medications that our school nurses supply. So, any questions on that? All right, so when you get done here, you're going to kind of know how to take care of the kid by knowing where their medications is kept, the transportations of medicines. You're going to know how you got the right kid, all the rights of medications. You're going to understand the school board policies that you are covered as long as you do what you've been trained to do. And then how to prevent errors and how to report things and who to contact if you have questions. So who are you going to contact if you have any questions related to medication? The nurse at your school. If you cannot find the nurse, ask your principal, your leader of that school, to say, hey, I need to speak to the nurse, okay? So again, who is the person that's able to delegate you how to give medicine? The nurse, the registered nurse. Can mama and papa and grandpa, can they teach you how to give medicine? No, you cannot accept that delegation. You've got to take it from the nurse. And there are them that tells you who can train you, because we consider you all as non-licensed personnel, okay? Because you don't carry a license on that. Okay. Again, we're going to go over the questions. It's open book, so we're going to go over all of those questions to make sure you know how to take care of an emergency situation. We're going to just review a little bit about the laws. Who in here knows what FERPA is? The Family Educational Right Privacy Act. That's pretty much what, we're in an educational setting. In the educational setting, we have rules. How many has ever went to a doctor's office and had to sign for HIPAA? That's for insurance, health, privacy. We don't do anything with that. We're covered under FERPA, okay? All of us, even the nurses, we're covered under FERPA because we don't bill, okay? This is only a need to know, okay? We cannot just give information to anybody, right? We can only give it to who is need to know. And who is that need to know? I can give you information about a student if it's on your bus, but can you all talk about each other's kids on the bus? No, because it's not need to know. Okay, me and technology is not, there we go. Again, this tells you like health records that is maintained by our school system is covered under FERPA, okay? Again, it's only on need to know. If a student tells the school personnel how they feel about having a chronic health condition, this information should only be shared to the school nurse, but not disclosed to those who do not need to know. So if you don't need to know, you don't need to know it. You need to talk about it at Walmart? No. Because you never know who's in the other aisle that's going to be listening. Why do they have laws related to medication administration? We want to prevent any kind of medication error. We want to make sure that everybody is covered. There's always potential for unsafe medication administration in schools, but that's what we're here for, is to teach you, to make sure you know how to do what you're going to be delegated to do. Once you accept this delegation, how long is it good for? Everyone that's been here for 10 years plus doing this medication training, how long is it good for? 1 year. Our fiscal school year goes from what? July to June 30th. If we have summer school, and thank you if you drove a bus during summer school, appreciate it very much. But if you do like during summer school, that's still in the June contract, so everything carries over until that summer school is completed. But it's only good for 1 year. And you do have to accept the delegation, and part of that accepting is part of the job responsibilities. And we're going to make sure that you feel good about accepting the delegation that we're giving to you. So who can prescribe you medication? A doctor, a nurse practitioner. You have a dentist can prescribe it. Can our nurses prescribe? No. But we can take that doctor's order and we can explain to you how to administer that medication, okay? Nurses are licensed to administer. There's the KRS to that, if you want to look it up. In a school setting, only RNs, nurse practitioners, physicians can delegate to you all. School personnel may be trained to administer medication that are prescribed to treat emergency or life-threatening health conditions such as low blood sugar, allergies, seizures, opiate overdoses. Why is that? Why do you think we're able to delegate to you all to help with these situations? Because you're not going to have a nurse. We just now got 15 nurses. They're not going to be able to be there. It's life-saving. How are you going to explain to a mama, well, I'm not a nurse. I can't give that medicine. How are you going to explain that to that mom? You're not going to be able to explain it to the mom. That's why there's laws out there for a nurse to talk to you about how to give those medicines to save a life, okay? If you do what you're trained today, you do everything that you're trained today, you're going to be fine. You're going to be covered under the Good Samaritan law, okay? It's when you go above and beyond and do what you've seen on Grey's Anatomy or on those other shows, that's when it's going to get you in trouble, okay? We ain't going there. All right. A little bit about a school nurse. They are different. Advanced practice nurse practitioner, they can prescribe. Okay, we don't have those in our school district. The next one is a registered nurse, which we're able to delegate, we're able to train, we're able to be what I call a case manager for these kids and for you all. There is also an LPN, but we're not even going to go there because our school district does not have licensed practical nurses. Okay, now they can do things, but they just cannot delegate. That's the key, that's the difference. That's why, again, our school district only hires RNs. And then there's laws that if you want to look it up to find out more about school nursing practice. And pretty much we just talked about that. To give you a little insight, these slides are also given to the bus shop, so it's hard through the school district, so I can't take out all the slides, but I am giving you the information that's on there. Kentucky Board of Nursing, our nurses are under our license are through the Kentucky Board of Nursing who regulates what we can and what we cannot do. There's a group of people that goes in there and they say, okay, yes, the nurses can do that safely. Yes, the nurses can't do that safely. They're the ones that makes our laws to help us maintain our license. Okay? Again, how long is this delegation? Could they tell us that we can transfer this delegation to you all? How long is it good for? 1 year. So guess what? We're going to meet here next year, same time, on a different date. And I hope I see everyone in the back. This just gives you a little bit about the Kentucky administration regulation about that we can delegate, okay? We want to make sure that you're good. Does your supervising nurse, once our nurses train you today and you have to give them medication, does that nurse have to be there with you? No. The thing is, once you have been delegated with a nurse, you have to have a nurse that's available by phone, okay? That could be any of the nurses in the school district, okay? Marshall, Rob, Victoria, every one of them has their phone numbers. They know how to contact us. Listen, they call us and that's good. We want them to call us, okay? But we just have to be available by phone because we've already delegated to you. We feel competent at the end of this training session that you can do what you've been trained to do. But we all have an open door policy. So whenever you get there at the bus loop and it's 2:30 you have a question, go to your nurse and talk to them. And they'll talk to you on a need-to-know basis, which is covered under what law? IRBA. All right. Relevant licensed school employees, we're going to be able to delegate that. Now, can you've got someone that's going to be taking over your bus for a couple of days because you're going to be out. Can you delegate that medication to that sub-driver? No. Who has to do that? The nurse. Again, you're going to be accepting delegations when you do this. And then within this, if there's an error that ever happens, if you have a concern about something, who are you going to contact? The school nurse. You'll have paperwork that you'll be signing who can prescribe medicines again? Your doctors, your dentists, your nurse practitioners, they're the ones that's able to prescribe. As in schools, we cannot prescribe, so they can come up to a school nurse and say, hey, can you write me a prescription for this? It ain't going to happen. Unfortunately, we haven't paid enough money to go to school to get that. So whenever the doctor does prescribe medicine, they're going to have the student's name, the name of the medication, when it's going to start. We're going to have all the rules and regulations all on that bottle, and there's some paperwork. You all don't have to worry about the paperwork. But just to let you know, whenever you get your bottle of medication, it's going to have all that stuff on there, okay? It is not in a Ziploc bag, okay? It's in a bottle in the proper container. With every medication that brings in, there is a form that the parent and guardian must have on file that says with their student cumulative health record, and it's only valid for 1 year. Have you seen a promise that everything has to be renewed in 1 year? So let's break it down for a bus driver. You're at the bus stop at 7:15 to pick up your kid, and Mom gives you a Ziploc bag that has some notes and said, Johnny needs to take this at 10 o'clock when you tell school. What do you do? It's in a Ziploc bag. If you can't take it that way, just politely tell them, we can't take it that way, it's in a proper container. Please call the school and talk to them. I can go ahead and get Johnny to school, okay? Now, Johnny gets on the bus, and Johnny has a bottle that has, let's just say, it's an orange bottle that has his name on it, and has other stuff. What are you going to do with that bottle? Let's go ahead and get that kid, okay? And with it, since that kid is on your bus, you can go ahead and get that kid to school. You can put that medicine with you and take it to the front office and let the school deal with all the other stuff, okay? You don't have time to deal with the paperwork. You don't have time to worry about that. We just want that kid at school, okay? That's our number one goal. And I promise you, if it's Ritalin or Adderall or something like that, that teacher also wants that medicine there. We're going to do everything we can to get that paperwork there for so Johnny can get his medicine at 11 o'clock. What we tell parents on the first day of school, and actually we probably did a couple days before school, the right way to get medicine to school, okay, the right way is if it has to be transported by bus. Who knows the answer to that? What does it need to be in? A sealed envelope with the student's name on it, okay? Again, if Johnny's mom says, hey, here is Johnny and his medicine, you can tell them it needs to be in a sealed envelope. If you know they don't have a car, you can call the professional and we'll talk about what we can do from there. But it really needs to be in a sealed envelope. But just know they give it to you in a Ziploc bag, it just has some little blue and white stuff up in it. Don't take it, but get the kid, we want the kid at school so they can get an education. So how do you get medicine to the school? It needs to be in a sealed envelope. What we do on the first day, or what we talk to parents, when I say we, I'm always referencing to school nurses. What we always tell the parents is, listen, once you bring in medicine the first day of school, you can bring it in during open house. We're going to count the medicine, we'll get it started. Then, when they start running out of medicine, we're going to call Johnny's mom and say, listen, Johnny's about out of medicine, could you come in and bring in medicine? That's the best way. But listen, not everybody has a car. Not everybody can afford $4 or $5 worth of gas to come to school. So we got to find a way to work. And how is that? So how would we handle that? We'll take that empty pill bottle. We'll put it into, the nurses will put it into an envelope. We've talked to Johnny's parents. Johnny's parents knows to put that pill bottle in that envelope with the quantity that's in there. We tell them exactly what to do to put it in that envelope. Because we're also wanting what? If parents have to work, we want them working, okay? If they just cannot afford to come to us, we got to find a way to work with them because we are a community service and that's what we take care of the community, okay? Any questions on that? So if medicine's not in the proper container and they just hand it to you, what do? Say, once you call the school and then the school can take care of it. What do you do with a kid? Get them on the bus so we can get them to school. If it's in a sealed envelope, bring them with you. Bring the kid in and medicine with you. If you see there's some other extreme stuff going on, call the bus garage and we'll try to figure out how to get that medicine. The big thing is what we tell nurses, what we tell parents is that you don't want medicine in a non-container, not the proper container. Because if you get pulled over, you don't have the kid with you, it's not in the proper container, then what happens? You're going to get in trouble for trafficking, okay? So that's why you have to make sure you have the kids, you have the right medicine in the right container, okay? That's also outside of a school setting. Just know that for personal, if you're transporting family medicines, you got to have that in the back of your mind. Questions, complaints, or otherwise? Proper container, proper kid, sealed envelope is the best, but sometimes they don't have a sealed envelope at the house. Who's going to deal with the paperwork? The nurses, the school. We're going to take care of that stuff because you don't have time to back. You got to run your restaurants. Hope you don't enjoy it too, but if you do, we're going to go through it. Students can self-medicate. You're thinking, what? If the doctor says they can self-medicate. We still have to have what? The proper form. The school has to know. That medicine has to be checked in at school. Because once those medicines come to school, no matter if it's self-medicated or nurse did or whatever, the school still has to have documentation that that medicine is in-house. If they're an insulin-dependent diabetic and they take insulin and the doctor says, yep, they can do everything by themselves, we still have to have that stuff logged in school. Because the laws wants to know, the powers that be needs to know how much medicine we have in our building, okay? Everything's going to be accounted for, okay? Student self-medication, another thing is they cannot share it. It's got to be in the proper container. So if they just elongate them 2 motions and stuck it in their pocket and say, here, don't tell anybody, just bury it. Guess what? If they get caught, they're probably going to day treatment, okay? Because they're having medication in their pocket without the proper documentation and not the proper container. Let's see here. So they cannot share, even if their siblings live in the same household and they both have EpiPens, they cannot share Benadryl, okay? They cannot have one bottle of Benadryl. They're thinking, well, it's a whole lot cheaper if you just have one Benadryl for one household. You got to think about different classes. You got to think about field trips. How are you going to divide up that one Benadryl for a set of twins that has an EpiPen that needs Benadryl, okay? Again, only sharing this information. If you've got someone, oh, I need to carry 2 pills, did you have your bottle? Guess what? It's only need to know basics, okay? It's just between you, the principal, that student, okay? Let's see here. Let's see here. Medication safety. First up is any new medication. Where do we want that given at? We always want that given at home. We don't recommend nurses to ever give medicine at school for the first time. We don't want them to leave the doctor's office and say, oh, they just put me on the antibiotic and have it taken in. I'm going to take it at 12 o'clock. No, we really don't want them to get it, okay? Why is that? If they're going to have a reaction, we want it to happen the first time with the parents so they can relay that to the doctor, okay? If it's being transported, what does it have to be in? A proper container in a sealed envelope, the student's name on the outside, and give it to the appropriate school personnel. Again, that's given to you at the bus after the kid's picked up or the kid hands it to you or whatever. You're going to give it to whoever the adult is that's going to have the bus loop, and they'll know to give it to the principal or they'll call the principal to come over to the bus. But don't hand it off to another student. Don't hand it to the student expecting that they're going to give it to the right person. Because once they get there, they see their friends, they lose thought of what's going on, and the next thing you know, they're carrying medicine all day long in an envelope that we really safely need in the front office. Let's see here. A new form, you don't need to know about that, it's just that does happen. Medication shall not be given beyond the dates on the authorization form. every month, at the end of the month. We're supposed to notify the parents 30 days before they expire. So that's why we check every month what our expiration dates are. Little FYI. If there's changes in medications, again, we talk to the parents, we get a new form. Nurses may only accept medication orders as prescribed by these people, or dentists, physician assistants. We know who to accept it from. Nurses